I'm Josh.
Francisca Pass.
Okay.
Jill Huss.
What's your name?
James Roan.
James Rose?
I'm Corey, and this is Simba.
I'm Ani, and this is Cowboy.
Jotika.
Jotika?
Laura.
Laura?
And Dorothy.
What's your name?
My name is Aaron Flanders.
Shelly. Angelica.
What's your name?
Angelique.
Alright, so I've got a couple questions to ask you. And, what questions?
I like the school.
Diversity.
No matter what, you'll see kids with adults, with elders, and most of the time, everything works out fine. They're all great kids and great adults there.
I love what the parks do for the neighborhoods and stuff.
You know how close people stay, I guess. You know, neighborhoods are nice and tight. A lot of people look out for each other.
You can pretty much go anywhere on the north side. You might run into somebody that you know or someone that you grew up with.
I like the energy. It seems like all the kids are really excited to, like go to these kind of events. And
I like the fact that some people have been living there for generations, all their families. It just keeps going on and passing on. And actually, I do like all the parks. They have more parks in the city than they do in some of the suburban areas.
What do I like out north of Minneapolis?
Yeah.
I like the fact that when, well, for example, the tornado that happened, how everybody came together as a community, and it's unfortunate that it had to happen with such unfortunate event, but to see people come together like that and help each other out, I think that's what community is about, and I think it's a strong presence on the north side.
I like that, yeah.
I'll tell you one thing I don't like. I don't like the stereotypes people have about North Minneapolis. Yeah.
what I don't like is that people misjudge it. Let's say I would go to places and they will ask me where you going to school, and I'll say north, and then they'll say, oh, there's a lot of crime, there's a lot of everything, just negative stuff. And basically, it's not like that at all. They misjudge it. They don't know. They don't live here, or they don't spend a lot of time in this side. Sometimes we can have some issues like around the ponies with the kids being a little bit eager or being kind of aggressive and not respecting their boundaries. I think that's the only issue that I've ever had here. Otherwise, everything is it's all good. No issues. So
I don't like the stereotypes. North Minneapolis is always, the majority of people know it as it's a bad neighborhood or there's a lot of bad kids there. But you even hear people that live there say how bad it is, but honestly, majority of the time it's a lot of elders that have lived there for years. There's not a problem there. A lot of people do get along. Of course, any neighborhood, you can't just say it's north, you can't say it's just south or anything. Any neighborhood has their problem neighbors. That's it.
I would say what I don't really like are just the new cliques that are like kind of forming into gangs, and that's one I don't understand it, I guess, and I think that kind of put a negative stereotype on North Minneapolis. And if these kids just kind of get along, and it doesn't matter what street you live on or what side you live on. I mean, you all are from Minneapolis, so it shouldn't be that much of an issue, honestly.
I would have to say that there aren't very many community leaders, positive community leaders on the north side, and there are not a lot of businesses on the north side either, as much as south. I'm not trying to pin them against each other, but the south has Lake Street, and they have all these businesses and all these opportunities, and a lot of places where kids can get jobs. It's like on the north side, it's like you either have a summer job for the parks.
Too much killing going on.
the same. Yeah, shootings and burglaries, all that.
Well, I think the easiest thing to say about that is some of the violence that happens. For some of the youth, I do work with youth, so I got a lot of passion for young people. And when I see them get mixed up in, things like that with violence and shootings and stuff like that, it really doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? So it's it takes a lot for me to really step up and figure out what we need to do to figure it out. But it goes past just one person or several people. You know what I mean? It has, so that's what I had to say about it.
I'm a theater person, so I know there are a lot of theaters in South Minneapolis, right? And there are nowhere near as many in North. And that's not right, so there needs to be access to that kind of thing, and that's just what I do. But I feel like if in general there was more access to stuff, then there'd be, that happens all over, when there's more access to things to do that are positive, then there's less negative stuff that happens,
Need more after school type stuff, keep kids out of trouble, and you know, more events like this, I guess, you know.
Make a curfew. Have a curfew. 10 o'clock curfew, everybody in the house.
The same.
Less drinking for
I would like crime to go away.
Well, I think things like this and like programs that keep the kids like interactive and like doing stuff that's good for them, like going to parks and going on field trips and learning stuff and being able to like ride horses. I think this will all help.
people should try to get to know North more.
My name is Fong.
Philip Latu. And Jeff.
Elizabeth Vang.
Pania Thor.
What do you like about Minneapolis?
What I like about Minneapolis is a lot of people is having fun. Their community, there's a lot of programs, school programs, help children and kids and teenagers out of troubles.
I like the program and I like how some areas they help each other. The quiet community around here.
I like the parks. The park's pretty cool. You get to go play basketball, football, tennis, all that sorts of stuff. Yeah.
How they can come together as a community because they all know that, you know, living in North Minneapolis is like just a North Minneapolis thing. To me, like I noticed that. You say you're from North Minneapolis, someone can say, yeah, I'm from North Minneapolis too. And
there are some areas that people don't help each other. And then around the community, there's always violence in some areas.
And the lousy noise outside and at night where people are sleeping.
The stereotypes in Minneapolis, like how like all black people are gangbangers and all Asian people are smart and stuff.
it's all about fighting and violence and crime. But I mean, whatever you find here, you can find in any other community.
What I don't like about Minneapolis is that there's a lot of shooting going on, a lot of plays, games, and then every time you walk out the door, do you wonder it's safe? You know, you don't know if people carry guns, but you can't judge. You know, that's one thing I don't like about Minneapolis. And then there's a lot of littering going on, a lot of trash outside. I just hope people pick up the trash.
I want people to like be nice with each other and help each other out and not like hearing violence every single day.
I would not have to change anything about Minneapolis. It's because it's a pretty good place to live around.
Some neighborhoods, you know, like some neighborhoods be all bad and stuff, and people walking through a neighborhood, you can't walk through a block without people trying to sweat you about something.
The crime, whatever crime there is, the activities. I wish there was more activities, more events happening within North Minneapolis.
I would like the people just to be walking around and trying to be safe and pick up the trash and make Minneapolis a better, beautiful place to live.
My name is Leonard Jones. I go by Len Jones.
I'm Tom Murray. My name is Robert Johnson. I'm the chairman of the board, president of the Northside Arts Collective, Northside resident for 18 years.
Margot Ashmore, the editor of North News and working with Northside Arts Collective.
My name is Bill Moore.
I love North Minneapolis. I grew up in North Minneapolis.
I love the people. I drive raggedy old cars and they break down all the time. And I know when a car breaks down in North Minneapolis that everybody will pull over and help me right away. I think it's the friendliest place in the world. Go ahead.
It's a great community. A lot of interesting things going on, a lot of people working hard. Hey.
I like the diversity of North Minneapolis. We had the opportunity for low-income people to purchase homes in a community that's up and coming. And its proximity to downtown and the beautiful parks that we have that surround our neighborhoods.
One thing I don't like about North Minneapolis is when a 12-year-old or a 14-year-old can't ride the bike in the neighborhood, you know, and get shot. I think that's ridiculous. That's one thing that's really disturbing to me.
I think it's frustrating that the city leadership of Minneapolis doesn't do enough to try to stabilize and build a better and stronger community. The only thing I don't like about North Minneapolis is all the trees that went down in the tornado. I think we need more trees, and so I'm hopeful that we'll get some of those trees back.
One thing I would like to see happen in North Minneapolis is the streets, you know, to clean the streets out a little bit. It's kind of messy sometimes. I think, you know, some new developments will help the community a lot as well, too.
For the most part, the people are pretty friendly, though they don't intermingle very much. I think it's because of lack of trust, you know, and I think we as neighbors have got to start talking to one another to make it a better place to live, and that's not happening as quickly as I'd like to. You know, I don't have long to live. You know, I want it tomorrow, yesterday, last week, but it doesn't seem to happen. I talk to all my neighbors, and there isn't a bad one in the bunch, you know.
Because in the end, we're all in the mix.